Hello, beautiful people. Happy Sunday. I'm here for the weekly reading to share from the language of letting go from Melody Beattie. And today is July 6th. But before I get into the reading, because I've looked at the topic, and so I want to give a little information that will help understand. I provide the readings from the topic of codependency, and I encourage you to just let go of that label if you don't feel like you resonate with that. And like I said before, it's all about the behaviors and how we're learning different behaviors that help us be our highest and best self. And so when you're in recovery, whether it's to do with addictions, with drugs or alcohol, codependency is about those relationships in our life that can use the support. And so codependency itself has its own 12 steps. But essentially, the steps are to help us understand ourselves, take an inventory of ourselves, and look at our behaviors, which in recovery language are called defects of character. And so when we look at those character defects, we own them, we understand them, we take accountability for them, and then we work with our higher power of our choosing, whether it's God, creator, universe, whatever we resonate with as our higher power. And so we connect with our higher power to help us to let go of these character defects that no longer serve us. And so it's a progressive process through the steps where we're able to work through all of that. And then eventually the next steps help us to make amends with those who where it's safe to make amends, and then moving on to continuing to take that personal inventory of any other character defects. But the key thing that I want to mention here is we are doing our own inventory. And so the recovery programs all say the same thing, is that each person does their own inventory. So this is sometimes challenging, I think, in relationships, because we want to do the other person's inventory as well. And that's a big no-no. It doesn't work. Believe me. But, just really recognizing that essentially we're staying in our own lane and looking at ourselves and taking responsibility for actions that we've taken, and even releasing the guilt, the shame, the embarrassment, all of those things. And it's about getting humble and becoming accountable and owning all of those character defects, and then asking for those character defects to be removed. Okay. So I think hopefully that helps you understand a little bit more about recovery and the steps and how that is approached when someone's working their program of recovery. And I think I may have mentioned when I first started sharing these readings from Melody Beattie, I've worked the steps in codependent recovery program. And so when I saw the title, I felt like I needed to add that little bit of an explanation. Okay, here we go. July 6th. So the topic today is step 7. Humbly ask God, or the higher power of our choosing, to remove our shortcomings. And so in the 6th and the 7th steps of the program, we become willing to let go of our defects of character, such as issues, behaviors, old feelings, unresolved grief, and beliefs that are blocking us from the joy that is ours. Then we ask our higher power to take them from us. Isn't that simple? We don't have to contort ourselves to make ourselves change. We don't have to force change. For once, we don't have to do it ourselves. All we have to do is strive for that attitude of willingness and humility. All we have to do is ask our higher power for what we want and what we need, and then trust our higher power to do for us which we cannot do ourselves, and we do not have to do for ourselves. We don't have to watch with bated breath for how and when we shall change. This is not a self-help program. In this miraculous and effective program that has brought about recovery and change for millions of people, we become changed by working the steps. And so the closing affirmation is today, higher power, please help me surrender to recovery and to the process by which I become changed. Help me focus on the step that I need. Help me to do my part, relax, and allow the rest to happen. And so I like the part in the affirmation where it says we do our part. We have to have that equal energy input, and our higher power does step in to help us. And also meetings in recovery can help support us as well as we work through naming our character defects. There can be working groups for working each one of the steps. So it is a process, and like I said, personally, I found it very beneficial. And so I hope you found something that resonated with you through that. And I wish you well. It's the beginning of summer, so be safe out there. Be mindful when you're driving on the road. There's a lot more people out now because the kids are out of school. And stay hydrated. And love and prayers to all those around the world who are dealing with natural disasters and things happening right now beyond our control. We pray that they find the help and support and the resources that they need to be safe. And so wishing you all well, sending you all so much love, and I'll see you next time. And remember, always be true to you.